Hi, this is Mrs. Perry Ising with part 2 of our music tutorial. In our last tutorial, I showed you how to download a song from musicianmusic.com, which is the website that we have a partnership with through my MSG Varsity. So I downloaded a song into my downloads folder. So first thing I need to do is get that song into my browser. So I'm going to go to File, Import File, and I'm going to look in my downloads folder for the song that we downloaded before. And it was called, it had the word strange in it, so I'm looking along here, and if I can't find it, it's always just easiest to type in what you're looking for. Got a lot of stuff with strange in it. Here we go. Strange Days. So, choose. So now we're going to look over here in my browser, and here's my song. Now, before I put my song into my timeline, I want to move the source indicators for my audio down onto audio tracks 3 and 4. And I want to move them onto tracks 3 and 4 because tracks 1 and 2 are taken up with the audio from the video clips of our subject talking. So what I'm going to do is make sure my playhead is in the beginning of my video. Source indicators are on tracks 3 and 4. And I'm going to drag and drop my song down onto tracks 3 and 4. And so obviously my song is way longer than my video. So there's lots of ways I can get rid of all the portions of the song that I don't need. I could go all the way to the end of the song, and I could rest my cursor on the song, get the double-sided arrow, and start dragging it back. I find that a slow way to do it. What I generally will do is take the blade tool, which we've used in other tutorials. B for blade gives you a razor blade. And wherever I position my cursor with that razor blade showing, I can click it. Now back to A for arrow tool. And now highlight the right-hand side of the song after where I cut it with the blade and just hit the delete key. So that's the easiest way I find to shorten the length of the song. Now if I was to go back and play this, the song is going to be way too loud and it's going to overpower our speaker. So let's play it a little bit. Alright, so what I could do is I could just lower the volume of the song altogether. And if you recall from our sound tutorial, you want to make sure that your sound indicator is averaging at -12 decibels and peaking at -6. So I just lowered the song. So if I go back and play, let's watch what's happening right here. So obviously I still have to lower the song. And again, if I said it in a previous tutorial, this isn't a great example because these people in the background are making a lot of noise. Another thing I could do is if I wanted to lead in and have the song fade in and then get higher and then fade out at the end, another tool I could use is over here on the right, this one here called the pen tool. I can click on it and now I have a pen tool. Looks like this. Or, you see right over here what it's looking like. It looks like a little top of a pen that you would put in an inkwell. I could also hit the P tool to put the pen tool on. So with the pen tool on, what I can do is I can click on my song, and I can click once and click twice, and I get 2 points on my song. And let me just click out of it so you can see. I get that little pink dot and that little pink dot. And so what I could do is rest my cursor on the first one, and I get, it looks like, you can hardly see it, but it looks like a little black crosshairs. And if I take it and I drag this down, now the pink line is kind of going, you see, I can make it like it's kind of on an angle. It's going from low to high. So that means the song's going to be fading in. And I could do the same on the end. I could say, get that, make a point here, and I guess make a point here. And I can take my cursor, rest it on the second point, get the little black plus sign, and drag it down. And that's how I can fade out a song. So if I was to listen to this, you hear how the song fades out. Although the main portion, let me hit A for arrow to get my arrow tool back on. The main portion of my song is still too high. I would have to have lowered that. So you have to play around with it till you get it just right. Again, you always use, right over here, you use your sound indicator to watch. Not just listen, but watch and see where the sound is. Again, between -12 is where we want it to average, and -6 is where we want it to peak. So again, the pen tool, letter P, or click this tool over here on the right, you make 2 points, and then you drag one of them up or down, depending on if you want to fade in or fade out. And you do it again at the end, make 2 points, rest your cursor on it until you get that black plus sign, drag it up or down, depending on if you want to fade it in or out. So that's the that's generally the way we do it. Another way to fade out your song in the end is if you wanted to, you could have right-clicked on the song, went with the default transition of crossfade, and that would give you a fade out too, and then you could just rest your cursor on this and make it longer, and that gives you a fade as well. Alright, so that fades it out as well. So again, once you're working with music, you file, import file, get your song into the browser, put it on tracks 3 and 4 if you have audio from your video on tracks 1 and 2, and make sure that you have your toggle tool on to see your pink volume line. We've talked about that in other videos. P for pen tool to make you 2 points to fade in or fade out. A for arrow tool to get back to your normal arrow, say to raise or lower your sound in the middle. So that is how you work with music in Final Cut. You want to make sure that you can hear your speaker, that the music is low in the background behind your speaker. If you have an intro before the speaker starts, you can have your music be louder, and then you can have it fade out. So there's numerous ways of doing it. You have to play around with it to listen and look and see what looks and sounds best. That's all for now.